space here. I'm gonna do a video real quick. Not on him, but he can be part of it. I will be. Yeah. Alright. No, you gotta stay. Sorry. You're not going nowhere. Sorry. That building's really good too. It's fucking beautiful. A lot of good craftsmanship. Anyway, people understand thoughts, feelings, and actions, so this cognitive behavioral therapy can help people look at the different situations that they find themselves in and understand their thoughts, physical sensations, and behaviors. So separating those three things is important. The thoughts versus the physical symptoms versus the behaviors. The idea is that our thoughts, the physical symptoms, and behavior can all influence one another. Mental institution. This one girl that did her TED Talks. And she's got all the tools to help people help themselves. This is what it is, the cognitive behavioral therapy and a bunch of other stuff. It's great that they had there. And tried to give the idea is that people are going there for help, but they're not. Some of them are leaving with help and feeling better and feeling like they got help, but then they're going home and they're getting back into their own situations because there's no one to hold them accountable to the things that they did to make themselves feel better while they were in there. I do not.
I have
but,
them from a charity donation.
That's great. Thank you. Wonderful. This is way better than that towel. Anyway. So I'm just going to go down my list and talk. We have a little bit about this. The Holy Trinity, if you will, the mind, body, and the spirit. And a little close out of what happened with the courts. That it's over with the courts. I keep getting reminded. So yeah, just gotta go down this list of things I don't want to talk about. But I'm gonna do it. She gave me still holding people accountable to fixing the things they do that are messed up. Well, that thing came right by us. So I don't want to talk about them while they're out there. He's just standing there. He's a nice enough guy. told him had some beef with some Masons, and he said, "Oh yeah," and he said, "Wait a second, secret societies." And then he was like, "I gotta go back to work." Back to it. Talking about the body, mind, and spirit, so it's important. She had what she proclaimed was postpartum depression, which is essentially I feel sad and I don't feel the way. No, we'll get into it. Anyway, a lot of cars driving by. So we're talking about getting her more spoons. That's important. We don't need to go into these details. Kind of do, because that girl that had postpartum depression was talking about how it's strong to cry, how it's a strength, and sometimes I open my big fat mouth and said rarely. And she got mad because she just wanted to feel like she was right and feel like crying is a strength, when it's really just giving into your weakness, giving into the whatever it is. It's weak. It's not strength. It can be used as a strength. Girls use it as a strength for sure, but it's a weakness. It's just gives you, it gravitates positive energy towards you. Some people, when they express their stress, so they get rewarded for telling people about their sadness and their tears, and they get a reward. The kickback feels good, so it's strength in their mind because they get rewards for it. But innately it's a weakness. And I said that out loud, not the whole thing, but. And she got mad, and then one girl said, the girls I was hanging out with, we were playing spades, and the one girl said she was sold for a car. And the guy was like, what? Trying to process how a girl could be sold for a car, and it's not that she was sold, it was more like rented. It was more like, and she had to be willing and accepting to do whatever favors were traded, bargained for. Anyway, she obviously agreed because crying isn't going to make any of the problems go away. And the other girl I was with said, you tell what is it? You tell the truth to a fool and they'll hate you, and you tell it to a wise man and they'll love you, or whatever that story goes. And just try to tie in the body, mind, and spirit together, and how you think, feel, do. And people don't think sometimes. It's called emotion, where you just feel and then do, and you take out the think part. And alcohol gets you and stops the think part, so you just feel, do. So it's important to protect your energy. A couple of girls were talking about it in there, and and she goes into a room and feels all these negative energies, she's comfortable there. That's a safe space in a twisted little way. It's like all alone in solitude, feeling the negative thoughts where you're not going to get hurt is safety in a way. So you feel good about it, and you like that feeling, so you can continue to just go back to that place because it's just comfortable for you. I'll tell you the story about spoon theory because I want to wake these people up that work in the mental institution too. Some of them are awake and some of them aren't, and some of them put their head down and it's just a job, and it's just awareness so they can do their part to help people actually dive into their real problems and find the problems and then build a plan out for a solution. They're in there for days and hours on end, and they got you there. You guys have to do all your paperwork and whatever else you thought it was going to be. But they're there for help, and most of the time it's just figuring out how to actually get help and holding themselves accountable. Like one guy was playing Uno, and I laid a draw for us, so he started drawing, but we were playing stacks, so they told him that you could stack it if he had another one, and he did, so he started to put the cards away, and as he put the cards away, he went 1, 2, 3, and then I watched him reach over to the other side of the deck to put the fourth card away, and I kind of looked over, sitting right next to me, and it was another draw 4 that he picked up from the top of the pile he didn't want to put back. And one of the things he said that he needs to work on is lying. And man, I watched that guy just collapse because they threw him on drugs. And whatever the cause is in his mind and his reaction to need to win, to be perfect, it's a drive that a lot of us have, that I don't know, the energy, the want, desire, whether it's to win, to be perfect, to when you're playing cards, so your energy's up, so you want that release, that catharsis feeling, so you want to win, you want to get the prize. And those are his opportunities to realize that he needs to not lean into those urges. In games, we play games all the time, people. Like, those are our opportunities to say, I don't need to lie, cheat, and steal against these people. It doesn't matter the outcome of this little game. So we get an opportunity to play with the energy and not need to win and destroy. Those are our opportunities to challenge ourselves, to live in the discomfort, and not care. It's just so good. And I watch everyone care so much. Everyone likes winning too. Anyway, going off on a tangent. Tangential, as Adam calls me. So, I had a few of the girls that were in there that were listening to some of the things that I had to say, that I ran you guys through the Maslow's and goal setting, the human needs and goal setting, and other things that I like to talk about. And so I gave them copies so if they wanted to do it, they could do it, and I'd chat with them about it. And this one old lady came back, and she said that her gap is family. She obviously struggled as a mom. And and so I pulled the lady in the mental institution, the TED Talk lady, aside so that she could understand the underbelly a little bit more and what these people are dealing with, so that she can see them as human beings a little bit more than she already does, because she was wonderful to everyone in there. Anyway, the insides that people don't share, that's what I wanted to share. And they'll share it with me. And but she wanted to have family. That's what her goal was. And in order to have family, then she needs to be able to figure out how to do that. And one way to do that, I started talking to her, was about, she's got grandchildren, so it's go be a good grandma. And it's like, well, they don't want to have anything to do with me. They're on their phones and they're doing this and they're doing that. And it's like, everyone's got to eat. The grandma can just go feed them. You can just go bring over food and hang out with them and chat with them and ask them questions, and they'll give you answers. And you just build a bond, and then you can be there, someone giving them good ideas. And then she dove into her real problem, was that she's trapped under this bill. She says she has one son that lives far away and another son that's in jail, and she can't leave where she's at because she's tied to a payment on a house that she can't even live in. That's co-signed by her son, who's in jail. And he won't sell it. She's convinced he won't agree to sell it. And the reason why is because there's stuff on it. So it's not even a livable house. So in my mind, it's an abandoned house, or somehow her payments. It's a weird situation, and I don't really overthink too much about it, because it's other people's business that we'll get into later. So and so I helped her devise a plan on a way to get out of the bill, and talked about it. And I didn't just talk to her about it. I talked to her a plan and things she can do to get herself out of the situation that she's in. And I wrote out the plan too, so I didn't just talk to her about it. I wrote out the plan. I went back to my room and I spent a half an hour writing down in detail everything we talked about and outlining what we said she could do in week 1 month, 2 months, and give her son 6 months to figure out what he's got to figure out before, worst case scenario, you can just cut loose and cut ties on the payment. You don't got to make those payments anymore, and you lose whatever equity you had in the property, but you get your soul back. Like how much do you value your soul? So then, which ties into why I'm there, got put in there, is it's one of the many reasons that And you help people do shadow work. everyone that is involved and has to think about it has a feeling, and then if they have a feeling, then they could potentially or feel justified in acting upon that feeling and the thoughts that they have. So the reaction to just words and their person's action. And I told her that if she follows through on it, because they'll threaten her. And she asked, why would they threaten her? And I said that they have these fear to get you to do what they want you to do. They break you down into the negative emotions so that you're gonna react and respond and do what they want you to do so that you don't get any consequences come your way. And and I have to tell her this part, but like the way they'll do that with my family, it's because I'm a big target. It's with the way they do it with me or my sister, and the way they'll do it with my niece and nephew or anyone that comes into my life is try to sow fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and figure out ways to destroy that which you love and care about, and then replace it with whatever they want to replace it with. And they were going to try to do that anyway because it's what they do. Now it just makes people a target, so the nefarious ones may just pop out the woodwork from time to time. Or the ones that I've set because I interfere in their business because I'm bad for business because they're relying on that. So, and she said to me that if I were to do it for her, walk her through all that, then she doesn't learn her lesson. And my response to her was that she doesn't need to learn a lesson. She's an old lady. She needs to learn how to be a good mom and a good grandma. And then I tie that into spoon theory. It's a preschool right across, right under this like parking garage. It's just atrocious. So sad these kids have to be trapped in this fucking thing. Looking at this nightmare back here. Anyway. And she said she's not gonna learn her lesson, and I said it's like with spoon theory. If you only have X amount of spoons, then she shouldn't be wasting them on this, things that make her afraid. She said, like in The Exorcist, that movie The Exorcist, where your head spins in a circle. She said that happened to me. And one of the nurses in there that said that I don't have to be a martyr, and it's not about being a martyr in my mind. It's just the bare minimum I can do to respect myself as a man. And I'll deal with whatever consequences come. And I didn't tell her all of these things, but after I told her about the spoon theory, and now that she would get threats and that she'd be afraid to do it. She said we sat there in silence for a minute, more than a minute, because there's nothing more to really say. This is funny too, because when I asked her to talk to me, she just did not want to talk to me at all. She like rolled her eyes and begrudgingly did it anyway. And after a few minutes, knowing there was nothing more to say, she got up and started walking away, like real slow, like almost like she forgot how to walk, because she didn't want the moment to end, but she knew it was already over. Shook. It's not like I go looking for trouble, or that I'm out to be some sort of vigilante. It's just that I find it very difficult to leave a broken soul when I could help mend it. And when I build my community, if someone's a part of my community, there will be more done than just writing a plan. We'll be working together to act out those plans and fulfill plans and help elevate each other's lives. And so that's the least I could do for a little old lady whose head spun around in a circle on the top of her skull, on top of her neck. Which leads into the jury making their decision that I'm mentally ill. And I'm upset with the jury for making their decision, even though I know some of them didn't want to do it. It's awesome. But it's alright to say that someone may get hurt. Mr. Smith said it in the first court trial, that under oath said that I could say the wrong thing to the wrong person and get myself hurt. So I either am crazy because A, I think there's an incel evil cabal within a secret society, and they're working together to cause harm on me and make people think I'm crazy and do all these other things that no one even knows that's happening because I don't share it. And that's obviously delusional to think that someone will be using the system to harm me. Or B, I am crazy because I am aware that there's and it's all real. And instead of shutting up, I go hang out at one of their little one of their little gangs brainwashing facilities. I just talk about their secrets. And obviously, it's crazy because who would do that? So we can agree that I'm a little unhinged. What did the physicist said that she called it schizotypal. I have different thoughts than other people. But schizo still means I don't know what's different between real and not real, and I just processed through a bunch of it. And then it goes into the idea of anyone that helps me gets a target put on themselves for these people. Even me talking about like people that have done nice things for me gets them scared to not want to be seen because of what people might do, which is just a shame because, like, I tell you, the judge said that I broke free of the programming and told me to research Qigong, which is the healing of others in itself with just the energy and using the energy to heal. And I told him that would be mania, that would be magical thinking. Judge, I can't be saying those things. I can't be having those conversations. And he said that he thinks I'm here to help when I told him that I need to be a lawyer, he said don't do that. And then he told me that he said under oath and said that it's awesome. Which is why it was the paranoia hit so hard in the mental institution when they tried to keep me there, because the judge would have, and the thought of the judge being in on it after saying all those nice things about me would just have been an epic setup to just make someone really think that someone had their back to just get fucking smashed. Wow. So anyway, he said all these nice things about me, and he also said that when he was protecting me from the drugs, and said that the paranoia of thinking that somebody from the Brotherhood was in the jury box, and he said as unrealistic, or he said something about it being possible but unlikely, and that I should work on the paranoia. And I said that he should have seen the look on that guy's face when he walked in. He looked like he had won a personal victory. He just walked in just beaming. He's probably just ready to go home. That's all it was. Just happy that he got to go home, not that he won and broke everyone into going on doing what he wanted to do. Anyway, it's so awesome because then he negotiated with some lady that was hanging out, and I had no idea who she was because she was there for 2 days. She was there the whole time, and they negotiated and started talking about ways to get me out if they can work something out, to figure this out, to do something different. I interjected on something with the judge. I don't remember what I said. It was awesome because he looked at me. I don't even know if he said anything. He just looked at me and was like, just told me to like just calm down. Like, I got you. Like, I got this. It's awesome because I was like, I felt it in my insides. I just wanted to just smile so big. I was holding it back, like, because anything could have happened, and they negotiated, so they knew the assignment. And then just fucking legends. Whether they're aware of it's like one of the girls in the mental institution when the Queen of Hearts was there, and I called her out on how she's trying to just manipulate people and gossip and just be a monster in there. One of the girls that was hanging out with me didn't want to sit around me because she didn't want to, it's like the guilty by association, because then if the popular girl doesn't like you, then she's going to start talking shit about you behind your back too now, so you don't want to be associated with me. And then not only did they associate with me, they fucking put themselves in front of a imaginary demon and protected me from it. It's awesome. And the new treatment plan's good. Jeez, there's so many people that go in there that are non-violent that don't want the drugs that get forced on them. Like one guy that was just drunk and on coke and swam in the Saginaw River like a fucking moron. He was hurting and just needed to be out, and someone picked him up in his stupor and he couldn't articulate who he was or where he was, so they took him in there, and once he came to, he was fine and they could have let him go, but not without their drugs, not without their money they make. So there's no path to get out until now, and I don't necessarily know how big it'll be, but it is important that no one gets out. This is so important. And the reasoning was so great too. It was like because people won't follow the treatment. I even said it in court. I don't know if I mentioned it in the videos, but that it's just like just play the game. Just say you'll take the drugs and don't do it. And I told them that I try to be as honest with my words and actions as possible, so I wouldn't do that. And she said that she knew that I wouldn't follow treatment, and she's right. I would fucking skip town. I would have left the state until it was over, and only come back and never fucking let Ed ever know where my whereabouts are. For fear he'll betray me. Because he cares about me. And even the doctor that said history predicts the future, because Mr. Smith mentioned it, he highlighted it on the day and said that it was really good for me to use that. And he was one of those compliments that you knew weren't necessarily something that they were pleased about. So I figure even not saying I'm dangerous could potentially give people unwanted attention their way, and I'm very grateful for what they did, whatever happened for me. And one of the nurses in the mental institution said he was there for 20 years. He said in 20 years he saw one person leave without getting put on the drugs. And he was so nice about it too, because he just wanted me not to be trapped there any longer, because he had no clue what was going on. It's awesome. And he just didn't want me to be trapped there and get my hopes up. And he said that guy, the only guy that he saw leaving, was paid for a $10,000 lawyer to do it. And all I really had was my heart and other people's hearts. It's awesome. And then they talk about these people that don't know really how to tie in the ookie cookie concept. I just love it so much because it's so graphic. And they do it for sure. They fucking do it to each other. Anyway. There's people in a room after the judge let me go. And the ookie cookie concept is mutually assured destruction, so everyone knows that you did something bad, and no one knows, no one tells, so then it never happened. And everyone's safe. So it's the mutually assured destruction concept, and they tried to make me the cookie. They went into a room together and did nefarious things with my body in their mind, and I vanished. Said, I'm not gonna be your guys' cookie. I'll be that girl with the PPO's cookie, but not your guys' cookie. That was awesome. One of my posts was the Hercules song from Sarah Bareilles, or whatever that girl's name is, and how it's just getting the judge and that lady to believe in me, and everyone who believed in me to help me, despite the thought and potential fear and risks. It's just so very grateful. I think the last thing I said to the girl before she filed the PPO was that I just want to make him believe in me and make him proud. And I did step one. I got him to believe in me, and then they're a little proud of me, and then not at times. They want me to figure it out so they can be more proud of me. A little bit. And just leads into the things that I wrote last year when I was in McLaren. That one of them came to fruition and the other hasn't yet. I'll share them with you on here. Alright, it's a little loud here, but we're gonna knock it out anyway. I think it'll be fine. This girl that filed the PPO I read on her profile that it was important that her man learns how to tie knots. And then, like, not even days after that, my buddy texted me and said that I can't get married until I learn how to tie knots. And it's not like I told him I was trying to get married or anything, but it's like, and that girl filed PPL, so it doesn't even matter. I'm not going to impress her that I tied this slip knot that can just unloosen and loosen up. But it stands to reason that if it was important to her, it'd be important to the next probably too. So, and some of them come quite handy, like this one. So, anyway. Came here for the backdrop. More things I wanted to see. Hi, bud. Sun's out, guns out. Just looking all right out here today. It's not a weapons joke. I haven't turned this into a gun, Gretchen. So you gotta come for me. So, but my mind has been registered as a weapon twice now. uh, 70 degrees out where I'm at. Trying to escape that cold. Anyway, Ace is ready to get to the dog park, so I'm gonna knock this out. We have more things to say. Asked one of the Mr. Smiths under oath if you had sex, drug, and organ traffickers breathing down your neck, wouldn't you do what it takes to make sure everyone was okay and safe? And his response was, well, I'd hope that you would go to the cops. And it's like, first of all, I wrote a real great line about the cops a couple years ago. You're the team that makes problems bigger problems more times than not. So they're not the answer. And what would you go tell them? That someone told you a story? Keep an eye out for this guy. They already know who the players are. It's not my job to fucking point everybody out. But those of you that come in front of me and get put in my line or actively harm me, just not gonna fly. And the Godfather, I told the Godfather that I was taking on the role of the Good Shepherd. He said that they'd come for you. And I told him that I'm sick and tired of people justifying their bad behavior with other people's bad behavior.
And then the godmother says they'll come for your family too. And only way they can harm the family is through their own cardinal sins. So the way it works is they try to get you to break your cardinal sins or find out times when you broke your cardinal sins so that they can use it against you. So they do it anyway. Like I said, it's their game plan to do it to everyone they can. It's just when you become a target, then people just do it to you more often. And it's not like this stuff to be afraid of. It's mostly and always just words and gestures. It's just spiritual warfare. It's the feel, think, do. So they try to get you to feel fear so that you do fearful acts. And they try to find out things that are negative so that they can pull that negative emotion out in you or your loved ones. And when you start to break the cardinal sins, then there's a lot of times that you think suicidal ideations, they seem to be somehow linked together, like the yin and the yang concept. So you have your cake and you can't have your cake and eat it too. So you break those cardinal sins, and then you're going to have those negative self-hate thoughts. They're associated with one another. And then the way it works with girls and girl culture and the fuckboy culture is they try to make you feel all the good feelings, even though the girls are. It's all just put on a show to make them feel good, so that they just don't feel all stressed out and they can relax and let loose, and everyone else is the bad guy in their life, not them. So, like, for example, if the wife or girlfriend's gaining weight and she wants to start losing weight, so she needs to eat healthier and exercise more. So she wants to be held accountable, so she goes asks her man to hold her accountable, and it's his responsibility to make her feel good and about herself and hold her accountable to her goals. And when she goes out to the bar with the fuckboys and the feminist friends, it's, oh, he's a misogynist for doing it. And if she lets him play that game, then they create that world where the man is the bad guy instead of the good guy that's actually helping her achieve her goals that she wants. It's, no, you're getting a nice fat ass and bigger boobs, and that's all they care about. So they're just going to tell her all the nice things about her body, and then she's going to feel sexualized, and she likes that feeling, so she's going to lean into it and not really give a fuck. And that's what all these girls are. So I'm just sick and tired of it, and sick and tired of playing their game where it's like the guy is the bad guy. Anyone's a bad guy for holding a girl accountable to anything. And I'm not fucking playing the game anymore. And the next girl that enters into my life, like, is not gonna fuck with me or anybody, guy or girl. Here in front of the Secret Society's logo as my backdrop just to use it for fun, but it's just, want to highlight that most of these people, I go hang out the Knights of Columbus, and just a bunch of old guys that play euchre all the time. They're not warriors or anything like that, and they're just a little community, a little group of guys that get together and hang out all the time, which, not shitting on them or anything, but it's not how you get knighted. And these guys here are something else. And the guy yesterday that we met, he said good luck to you after he knew I had beef and ran away scared and didn't want to hear no more. That's what most of them are like. He's a good guy. He really meant it. He's genuine. He doesn't want anybody to have any drama or there's battles. He just was hanging out with his buddies the other day getting drunk, and he just manages a facility. It's not a game he wants to play, and he doesn't want to get involved and tell his brother to be a better person, to get his sibling to be a decent fucking human being. So they just let their siblings be fucking scum, and so their family is just fucking trash, and this fucking stupid ass fucking G is unfucking worthy in this logo, and everyone in this fucking little cult is a fucking scumbag pile of shit. So when I tell him I got beef with one of his siblings, instead of saying, let me fix it, let me get my family right, it's, let me go back and do what I get the greenbacks for. Because that's what's important. And I wonder if all those honks are because they think I'm a Mason. So, he meant it. That guy yesterday. He is beautiful, isn't he? Have a good one. Yeah, you're so pretty, buddy. So, there's no help here, but I'll go fucking knock on the door. No one will fucking answer. Well, that's not fucking true. They'll fucking answer. They answered. I've knocked on every door and they all fucking answered. I'll get into them all at another time, but the universities, drug, sex, organ traffickers, the churches, the fucking sheriff, the judges, it's just fucking, it's everyone. And so I knocked on every fucking door and they all answered, and I fucking said everything that I fucking had to say. I fucking said everything. I walked right in and I fucking said everything that was on my mind, and they responded in kind. And here we are. It leads into talking with that lady in the mental institution. She said, and I told her I wanted help. I wanted someone to actively help me solve some of my problems. They're easy to solve. My family feels like it's all right to lie to me, and someone within my family should, one of my good Christian family members, should be able to help me solve that. They all got together for Christmas because they care about each other, and I didn't get an invite because I asked for them to help. For them to help to get my family to stop abusing me and treating me like shit like they have my whole fucking life. And instead of getting help, they all tell me to shut the fuck up. So she said what I want doesn't exist. And it's not true. It does exist. The churches are supposed to be it. These priests are supposed to be it. They're supposed to be able to confess the sins to them, and then they help you overcome your sins. And they don't even have the courage to do it either. I was talking to one of them when I was asking for help. He said he wants to be skinned alive like the disciples. That's how much he loves Jesus. And I told him that I could introduce you to some people. And he hasn't responded since. So Catholic Church is no help. One of the girls reached out and I called her friend fat, so she stopped talking to me. Because they're afraid of the word. They're afraid of it. Everyone's afraid of it. And so what I want is, she says, doesn't exist. It does. It's just really hard to find. For one, most of us aren't advertising for, well, if you're paying attention to obvious reasons. And the ones that are advertising the healing, they're not healers. None of them are. They just have a way to. Most of them. It's so hard to find the ones that can actually help, because most of them are just trying to pass the feelings around and the good vibes, and they're using it fucking just to fuck each other. I was just hanging out with a girl the other day, and she I haven't fucked in so long, and I was thinking about it. And so I was hanging out with this girl, and I didn't go through with it, but she texted me and said that she wanted to, which obviously she did, and I knew. But her text said that she's been enjoying feeling so carnal sexually after her divorce. And she just had no reason for why she left him other than she wanted to go be a yogi. And she's not a yogi, she's just using it to go on these retreats so she can go on her fuck fest. And that's what most of them are fucking doing, so. We all love to fuck, so what are you gonna do? There is a key point I wanted to say that about the girl is just because just the girls I get to be with have the same drive to be perfect like me, so. And they're with me. We work together to feed each other's drives and help us achieve goals that we set for each other, ourselves and each other. And she goes out and starts hanging out with her feminist friends and her fuckboy friends, and their goal is just to get her relaxed and feel as comfortable as possible. And she no longer wants to be a diamond with you. Now she just wants her friends to like her, and that's all she cares about now. My friends like me. My fucking niece, I asked her what's important to her and what drives her, and she said that about her, whether or not her friends liked one of the pictures she shared with them. And it's just so sad, these girls out here that have no ambition and no self-worth, that their worth comes from whether or not their friends like a picture they share. And I don't want to shit on my niece, because she's great. I don't get time with him because I was gone forever, but when I came back, my sister made sure to create me as an enemy in everyone's mind by spreading lies and stories. So she fucked with all that. But I would see my niece be a nice, strong, healthy young woman and not need all of the makeup and all the fake shit to make people like her. And all these girls, because then it gets used against them. It's so easy to make girls feel something. And then once you know how to use their feelings, like these people, they learn how to use your feelings, then they use it against you for their own self-gain. Because that G, they think it means God to them. Fuck them. There's only one God, not them, not these fucking people. Knocking on another fucking door. And the only one that they're going to answer are the bad ones, because you saw one of the good ones. I bet you if I pressured him a little bit. And then I wonder what the bad ones would do to him if he actually tried. Secret societies and all, you know? So for fucking 2 years, another one that I've been knocking on the door of, the fucking McLaren. I've been tagging them in everything on this mental health bullshit that I've been going through. And they've been accepting the tags for 2 years. And then when I won this court battle, they fucking blocked me immediately. It was awesome. BABH blocked me immediately. The Hampton police blocked me. I wish they would unblock me. I'm not gonna talk shit about them no more. Even though they should stop being human fucking traffickers, they should be better at their fucking job. There's a Constitution and a Bill of Rights that you guys can fucking stand up for. Oh, yeah, because they left me unblocked. Even fucking the judge I was tagging. Oh, sorry, buddy. Even the judge I was tagging was let me in, and because they thought I was digging my own grave. But what you guys were watching me dig a grave, but it wasn't my grave. Oh, shit. And it's great. I was telling my keeper too that every great philosopher, and I'm sure not great one, has been deemed an enemy of the state, an enemy of the system, a terrorist. The truth set me free, which is great. It's so funny how that works. Leads into our closing, bro. I think we're done. Because we could do an outline of what happened, but I'm just gonna share on the YouTube, and the Facebook will be open for a little bit, and then I'm gonna put all of these videos in private and spend the next couple months just trying to have some semblance of a normal life with Ace. Have a job and play some volleyball and not think about this fucking bullshit for a little while. But then I come back and it's back to work again. So it's just, yeah. It's go time. What do I got? I think that's it, bro. When I told the Godfather what I was doing, and he said that they come for me and they come with my family, it's spiritual warfare. So once I teach them how it works and they're strong enough to it, then no one can harm them. And I told the Godfather that I'm not stopping, because I'm not a fucking pussy. I wasn't implying that the Godfather's a pussy, but just like that guy yesterday, I told him I have a problem and he wanted to help. He did, and he just said, "Nope. We keep our family secrets and we let them do whatever they want. We don't care. They do care, but not enough to step in and create a safe place for me So my family's not going to do it. These guys, my family might do it. They might grow some courage. They just don't know what they need to grow courage about yet. Now they're just in scared mode. I shared a video the other day. I'll share it in the links, but it's how it showed a child and how anger stopped it from even wanting to play. And it does, because the fear instinct turns them into like a fight or flight mode. Fight, flight, or freeze mode, and the child froze and just wouldn't play after they brought in the angry subject. And it's just one example of how you can use people's emotions. And when you get really good at it, the magicians, the people that think they're gods and kings and queens of this world, and that people are to be used as pawns for their own self-gratification. When you know how to use people like that, well, some people take advantage of it. And I'd see everybody have the power that these guys have, and they'd see that only they have the power. I was talking to one of the drug and sex traffickers that they put in my way, and I'm telling him, like, he's not welcome around until my family is awakened, and he doesn't want them to be awake. And the idea with these drug, sex, and organ traffickers is this Bobby Rio is one of the guys that has a website. They'll teach you how to do it. And they know how to use people's emotions, and they set up a game to use people's emotions. And where is it going out with that? He says in one of his videos that once the girl is aware that you're playing a game on them, the game's all over. So the girls know this too. They like playing in the little games. And fucking who doesn't? The games are so much fun. I love them. What's that one game that the girls are playing? It's just at the gym, need to work on my butt a little bit. There's one where the girls go and they put on their naked suit with their skin tight outfit, as if shorts aren't acceptable attire anymore. And then she goes and sits on the ground in front of a mirror and spreads her legs so you can see the outline of her pussy. And then she starts dry humping the bar. I need to do some of those ones. Get my butt bigger. All right, I'm done. I think that's it. I've terrorized enough people in 2023.